How to put on a 13-ton stone hat. That's a nice-looking hat. Where'd you get that? Researchers say they figured out how Easter Islanders transported 13-ton stone hats across the island and placed them on top of 33 feet tall moai statues. The study, published in the Journal of Archaeological Science, examined how ancient islanders were able to move the additional red stone cylinders, pukao, on tops of the statues. According to NPR, Easter Island has almost 1,000 moai statues spread across the island, with around 100 of them wearing the pukao hats. After constructing 3D models of the stone cylinders, scientists closely analyzed the details and features of each pukao. They developed a hypothesis that the hats were rolled up to the top of the statues using long ramps with a technique known as parbuckling. Using the 3D models, the team was able to calculate how long the ramp would have to be, in addition to how many workers would be required to pull the pukao into place. With a ramp 75 to 328 feet long, with an incline of 5 to 20 degrees, a team of 15 people could maneuver a pukao into position. Careful, construction ahead.
France planning to pave roads with solar panels. The French government is set to go ahead with energy plans to pave 1,000 kilometers of its country's roads with solar panels. France's energy minister Ségolène Royal made the announcement last month, saying she expects tests to begin as soon as this spring. The panels are made by Colas, a subsidiary of French industrial giant Bouygues, and took 5 years to develop. These 7mm thick Wattway solar panels contain photovoltaic cells, which collect solar energy through a thin layer of polycrystalline silicon. The panels will be glued to existing road surfaces and can withstand the passage of heavy goods vehicles. The manufacturers say road surfaces are occupied by vehicles only around 10% of the time, so the panels will get plenty of exposure to the sun. The panels can provide electricity for street lights, street furniture, road signs, and buildings. The manufacturers say 4 meters of solarized road can power 1 household, and 1 kilometer can produce enough electricity for a town of 5,000 people. If it reaches its maximum potential, the plan could provide electricity for 5 million people, or about 8% of France's population. The cost of the project is unknown, but the French government has suggested it could pay for it by raising taxes on petrol. Last year, the world's first road to convert sunlight into electricity opened on a 100-meter stretch of carriageway in the Netherlands.
The biggest ever wind farm is set to be built off the British coast. The UK government might be gearing up for a so-called hard Brexit, but that doesn't mean it's stopping work with European companies. The world's largest wind farm is set to be built 90 miles off the British coast by Danish energy firm Dong. When completed in 2022, the wind
Amsterdam to get the world's first 3D printed pedestrian bridge. A Dutch startup company has announced plans to draw a steel structure over water in Amsterdam. Dutch company MX3D plans to print a bridge across an Amsterdam canal, with the project set to begin in September. The computer program plots designs while robotic arms heat metal to 1,500 degrees Celsius, around 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit, to weld structures drop by drop. This technique removes the need for scaffolding and people, as the robotic arms are supported by the very structure they are printing. This essentially means robotic arms will walk across the canal as a bridge is being created. According to the company, this technique could become standard on future construction projects, especially on high-rise structures that are more dangerous for human builders.
Design for another major London skyscraper revealed. Plans have been unveiled for the construction of a skyscraper in the City of London, which would match the height of the city's current tallest building. A skyscraper to be named One Undershaft will become one of the tallest buildings in the historic centre known as the City of London, which is north of the River Thames. The 73-floor structure is intended to provide office space. It will host a public viewing gallery and restaurant at the top of the building, and a public space at the bottom. The building faces London's current tallest building, the Shard, across the river. Developers say the building will rise to the same height as the Shard, at 309.6 meters. The official completion date of the building has not yet been announced. However, plans are to put the building into use within the next decade.
Saudi Arabia plans to build a $500 billion megacity. Looking for a new vacation destination? How about Saudi Arabia? No, seriously. The Saudi Arabian government says it plans to build a $500 billion megacity that stretches into Jordan and Egypt and is completely powered by renewable energy. The project is called NEOM and will measure 10,230 square miles, which is 33 times larger than New York City. One of the main goals of NEOM will be to diversify Saudi Arabia's economy in an attempt to move it beyond oil. The megacity will focus on industries such as energy and water, biotechnology, food, advanced manufacturing, and entertainment. The $500 billion will come from the Saudi government, its sovereign wealth fund, and local and international investors.
South Korea and Egypt are building an agricultural city in the desert. Two unlikely partners are in a scientific collaboration that could see a desert turn green within the next half year. South Korea and Egypt are teaming up to build an agricultural city in the North African nation's Qattara Depression sinkhole. The 6-month, $10 billion project will see 50,000 greenhouses constructed by Egyptian workers and managed by Korean experts. Several solar and desalination plants are expected to be built at the site. The project will also see an attempt to produce food and the sugar alternative stevia. If the plan is successful, it could be seen as a model for future anti-desertification projects.